present their requests or concerns and answer any questions of the Planning Commission. Groups are requested to select spokespersons to express their group's concerns, because each side will be allowed 10 minutes to speak. Plats, rezonings, revised master plans, and street renamings require a public hearing, after which the Planning Commission will deliberate and render its decision. The passage of any motion shall require the affirmative vote of a simple majority of the members of the commission who are present and eligible to vote. In case of a tie in votes on any proposal, the proposal fails. Recusals and abstentions are not counted as a vote. Development plans require a public hearing to provide the public an opportunity to express opinions. However, a vote by the Planning Commission shall not be taken. Planning Commission members with a personal or financial interest in any petitioner's request are required to recuse themselves. If a motion to deny or request is made, a reason must be given. Tonight, the members of the Planning Commission are Garrett Smith, Ann Clemens, Frank Cook, Reggie Dunn, Tim Head, Reginald Hawkins, Cruz Reeves, and James Reed. The staff members present are Warren Adams, I don't see Anthony. Tanya Ingram is not. Sorry. Okay. Robert Smith and Carol Ann Pinkston. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from February 27, 2025?
Move to approve.
Second.
Are there any changes to the agenda for tonight?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Call for a motion. Motion to approve?
All those in favor? Unanimous.
Unanimous. Now is there. Are there any changes to the agenda for this evening?
Yes. Item 2 is withdrawn and item 3 is delayed.
Okay.
Call the first one.
Do I read the first item? Item number 1 is presented by Gonzalez-Strength and Associates, representing the Equal Justice Initiative. Request for final approval of Cyrus Phillips property, plat number 2, located on the southeast corner of Montgomery Street and State Street, in a T4O General Urban Zone Open Zoning District. This plat replats 4 lots. Hold on. Okay. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
All right, evening, y'all. My name is Dan Allen. I'm with Gonzalez-Strength, and we're located at 1550 Woods of River Chase Drive in Hoover, Alabama. We're here tonight requesting approval for the Cyrus Phillips plat, as she just mentioned. It's more of a consolidation type plat of some older lots that still exist today.
Do we have any questions from anyone?
Yeah. Last month, I pointed out the 1B has a different drawing than the others. What's the reason for that?
What, 1B, I'm sorry?
1B?
Well, what does that refer to, 1B?
He's talking about on our full agenda is it's your survey. But it's not different. What's different about it, Mr. Reeves?
It doesn't follow the same lines.
It's the same one we had.
Oh, you just sent me a different one, huh? Same as last month. And I pointed it out then.
This is the plat they submitted. I don't understand what you're asking.
Shouldn't all 3 sheets show the same drawing?
They do.
Somebody come over here and I'll show you.
Okay, you're referring to one of the lots was missed on the aerial photograph and on the zoning map. The accurate plat is number 1B. That's what you're looking at to review and approve.
1B has an extra lot on Clayton
That's
Street,
what I'm saying. I missed it on the zoning map and the aerial map.
but the other two don't show that.
And at the bottom of that map, it says for reference only. You look at the actual survey, that's what you're approving.
Which one we actually going by?
1B.
I noticed the same thing that Ms. Reeves is.
It was just one
is
lot that was missed
qualified.
out of the drawing that staff did, and it was our mistake.
It's,
So
a
we-
it's a staff scrivener's error, which is not part of the official application. It's for guidance only for the board.
So we are voting to officially approve what's noted on 1B.
That's correct.
Correct, okay.
Any other questions for the audience coming forward?
Do we have any questions or comments from the audience, if you will come forward?
Hearing none, is there a motion? Call for the motion.
Do we have a motion to approve or deny?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed?
Motion carries. The motion carries.
Motion to carry.
Motion has carried.
Motion is carried. Item number 4, presented by Goodwin Mills and Kaywood, representing New Park Development Incorporated. Request approval of a revised master plan for properties located on the north side of Park Crossing across from Wilson Park Drive, on the southwest corner of Park Crossing and Wilson Park Drive, and at the south end of Morningside Park Drive in a PUD zoning district.
Good afternoon, I'm Judy Jones with Goodwin Mills and Kaywood. This is Wilson Carter,
Wilson Carter with Goodwin Mills and Kaywood.
and we request a revised master plan for New Park. Some of the streets got modified and the lot sizes got modified. Is there any questions about a particular area?
On neighborhood B, it has apartment acreage decreased. What,
Well, excuse me. As you see, it was originally 75-foot lots, and then it went to the 60-foot lots to go, that's the neighborhood that's called Jubilee, Stone Martin. Has been building there, and so when they modified those lots, it basically just changed the dimensions of the apartments. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah. Are you making more apartments, or did you change the size for
No.
the same number?
No, the apartment's the same.
They're just gonna be smaller.
Yes, sir. Well, we haven't even, we don't even have anyone looking to actually do the apartments now, but as far as what, all of our designs are based on the same amount that we had, apartments-wise.
Any more questions from anyone in the planning commission?
Speaking the mic so they can hear.
Any more questions from anyone from the planning commission? Do we have any questions from anyone in the audience? Motion's in order?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
8. Mr. Head, how did you vote?
I'm abstaining.
Abstain? Okay, thank you.
Item number 5, presented by Jeffco Engineers and Surveyors, representing a new Bostick. Public hearing for a development plan for a new structure to be located at 2906 Highland Avenue in a B2 commercial zoning district.
That's number 5.
Petition is not here.
Should we move it next month? Right?
Go to the next item.
Don't we move on to the next item? Yeah.
Item number 6, presented by Casey M. Genevieve, representing DG Holdings, public hearing for a development plan for a new structure to be located at 5988 Troy Highway in an M1 zoning district.
Hey, my name is Patrick Reeves. I'm actually with DG Holdings. I'm representing myself in this. Yes, we are proposing a new 10,000 square foot retail store. I'm just here to answer any questions y'all might have, or the public might have.
Do we have any questions from the planning commission?
What kind of store will it be?
It will be a Dollar General.
Dollar General?
Yes.
Appear to need another one.
Have you talked to the people in the area?
I have not, no, sir.
Do we have any questions from anyone in the audience? A public hearing has been heard. Item number 7, presented by Ernest Burgess II, representing J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, public hearing for a development plan for a new structure to be located on 2710 Taylor Road in a B3 commercial zoning district.
Hi, my name's Chip Burgess. I'm with Burgess Rum Architects and the architect for Chase Bank. We're building the new bank at the on the site of there's an existing bank building at 2710 Taylor Road. We're going to be removing the building, building a new single-story 3,460 square foot building. We will be keeping we'll be keeping the driveways and intact the parking area, adding landscaping. We'll have all new landscaping. I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
This is gonna be a Chase Bank?
Chase Bank, yes ma'am.
Really? First one in Alabama?
Not the first in Alabama, but first here.
First in Montgomery?
First in Montgomery, yes ma'am. We're excited to be here.
Thank you.
Do we have any more questions from anyone on the planning commission? Do we have any questions from anyone in the audience? A public hearing has been held. Thank you.
Welcome to Montgomery.
Thank you.
Item number 8, presented by David Slocum, representing CIRG's Recycling, public hearing for a development plan for a new structure to be located at 5200 Norman Ridge Road in an M1 light industry zoning district. Anyone here representing item number 8?
Josh Adamson, filling in for David Slocum.
Okay.
So if y'all have any questions, just let me know.
Do we have any questions from anyone on the planning commission? Any questions from anyone in the audience? A public hearing has been held. Thank you. Item number 9, presented by Shante Lord? Shante Lord, representing Shante Lord. Request recommendation for approval to amend the qualifications of an ordinance number 48 to 2012 for the property located at 3108 Willie Road in a V3Q zoning district.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Shantae Lloyd. I'm here for property address 3108 Whitley Road. It was currently restricted to salon usage, and I'm requesting a rezoning to use it as a daycare or childcare, particularly to cater to the needs of children with special needs or diverse needs and disabilities.
Are you going to extend the existing daycare there, or is that a new one?
Is it an existing daycare? No.
Are you going to extend the existing, or is it going to be a different daycare?
It would be a different daycare. It'll particularly be used to cater to the needs of children with disabilities.
I see.
Was that you that brought this before us before?
Wasn't this the barber shop?
It was a barber shop and a salon.
Yeah, but did you bring it before us before?
No, sir. This is my first time.
So what happened to the barber shop?
It's been closed for years, so it's just a vacant location.
So it was qualified before for a barber shop, but you didn't have any ownership of that barber shop?
That's correct.
Okay, but so it had already been qualified for a barber shop prior to you acquiring this building?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are you licensed for the daycare as it relates to what you named?
I will be once. You have to go through a process with DHR to become licensed. But I'm familiar with those regulations because I worked at DHR.
And you've acquired the building?
Yes, I'm just requesting that the zoning be changed for the building. It's currently restricted, so I'm asking for the restriction to be removed so that I can use it for a child care for the diverse needs kids.
I understand. Thank you.
Do you have no problem with it being restricted to a daycare?
Am I going to have any problems?
Do you have a problem with it being restricted only as a
Usage of a
daycare?
daycare only?
Right.
No, it can be restricted to just the usage of a daycare, and it wouldn't be able to be changed after today.
Are you the owner of the property now?
No, I'm not. But the owner gave me his deed, and he wrote a statement saying that it was okay for me to use that location as a child care because it's just a vacant lot that he owns.
So this is pending approval of you purchasing the building? Is that basically what you're doing? Pending approval of you leasing the building?
Yes, I'm going to lease it, but he had stated that I needed to get the approval of the rezoning first.
Yeah.
But he has no issues with me utilizing his property, so he wrote the letter for me stating that he wanted it to be used for the purpose of a child care.
So you'll be leasing the property from the owner?
Yes.
Okay. And the previous owner was leasing the property as a barber shop?
Yes, he's the same owner.
Oh, he's the same owner?
Yes.
I see.
It's his property.
I see. Okay.
Any questions from anyone in the audience? Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
With the qualification?
With the qualification as a
child care only.
Child care only.
Yes, sir.
All in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a
Good luck.
blessed evening.
I know where the property is. You try to pass it every day. And it's vacant.
Item number 10, presented by Robert Wolfenden, representing Robert Wolfenden, request recommendation for approval to rezone property containing 21.61 acres located on the north side of West South Boulevard, approximately 850 feet east of Davenport Drive, from a B2 commercial zoning district to an M1 light industrial zoning district.
Yes, I'm Gene Cody, and I represent Mr. Wolfenden in this rezone.
And we would like to, it's the former 84 lumber building, if you guys remember. It was originally built for that lumber yard, and we're just trying to get the zoning proper.
Any plans for what you're gonna do next?
Yeah, so a company called Viscofan, who's already in the market over by the airport in a big warehouse, will be storing products here.
My question would be the hours of operation. I mean, what would be the hours of operation?
Between 8 and 5.
Excuse me?
Normal business hours between 8 and 5.
Okay, because I know those residents is not far from now. And if you're gonna be using it for manufacturing, warehousing, and shipping, we know we're gonna have big trucks coming in and out. And we didn't want for that to be happening during the night while people trying to sleep.
Understand. And we were very specific in who we were choosing for that. We spent a lot of time with Ms. Frenetta and trying to work through. We had some meetings with some of the neighborhood leadership, and that was not our goal, was to find a light use. Our goal was to find a light use. They're 8 to 5. The company does most of their work at their other manufacturer. This is an overflow facility. We're looking at maybe 2 trucks a day at the most, potentially 1 to 2 employees on site. Very quiet.
Do we have any other questions from the planning commission?
Yeah, once we zone this and they move in, what stops us from it being sold to somebody else, and then it becomes a 24-hour operation? Can somebody answer that?
Is that a question?
Yeah, a question to you or to Tanya. I mean, is there anything in this zoning that would stop what he's, if it turned to a 24-hour operation, do we have any?
We don't have any regulations on the hours of operation currently.
We don't have any recourse at that point.
No, sir.
So we need to do it now if we're going to do anything.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I would make sure that we put in there that it's qualified to work to be 8 to 5 only, and not allow it to be, because you are backing up to, as somebody down there said, backing up pretty closely to residential, so I would not want it to be. I'd want us to make up front that it's qualified only from hours of 8 to 5. Would you be willing to do that?
I would need to speak to the property owner to confirm that'd be okay. What I would tell you, there is an active train that buffers our property from the neighborhood that is screaming through there in the wee hours of the morning. We don't plan to be there in the wee hours of the morning.
I understand, but once we zone it, then we're stuck with the problem.
This property backs up to Gaston Avenue where residential is also.
What about if it was qualified so that the large, for lack of a better term, 18-wheelers couldn't come through there during off hours or sleep hours or night hours or something like that? Would you have a problem with that?
Again, I think I need to speak to the property owner for that. I don't want to overspeak.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared to answer that. We had spent probably 8 or 9 weeks speaking to the community, speaking to city council, chamber of commerce, multiple meetings. And everything that we're hearing is there's no issues, but I do understand the concern. So I'm not saying that I take that lightly. I can just only speak to what we're going to be doing and be very considerate of everything around us.
Understood.
Do we have any questions from anyone in the audience? Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
That-
Hold on. What happened?
I got
You didn't want to
6.
cue this?
I want to approve it because, and the reason why is because I actually talked to my city council person and I actually talked to the residents that live there. And whatever meeting that they would have and the residents is okay with it, if the residents okay with it, I'm okay.
No, his question was, did you want to queue it though for the certain, the time?
Well, if we queue it, we can't take a vote because he's got to go back and take
Right.
a
No,
vote.
no, you can't queue hours.
Yeah, can't keep
You
business
can't
hours.
queue hours. You can't queue
All in
business
favor, all
hours.
again.
So either we pass it without being queued or
Like I said, I'd like to take them for their word.
Yeah.
Based on the meetings that they had with the residents and with my city council person. I'd just like to take them at their word, and hopefully they'll do what they say they're gonna do.
Okay, currently there's a motion on the floor to approve as is. Can we take a vote?
All right, move to approve. All in favor?
3. I got 7.
Opposed?
1. Mr. Reeves?
I had my hand up for approval.
Okay, that's 8-1 then. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.
Do you want to overlook it? Have to talk about
Item number 11, presented by the Land Use Division, representing the City of Montgomery, requests recommendation of approval of a text amendment to Appendix C, Article 3, Section 1 of the Code of Ordinance.
All right.
The item before you is to add qualification requirements for members of the Board of Adjustment, just the same as we did for the Planning Commission, the same as we have for the Historic Preservation Commission and the Architectural Review Board. The qualifications and experience listed here is exactly the same wording as we used for the Planning Commission, and we're looking for a recommendation to take to City Council because this is the board that has the authority to recommend these changes. It's been presented to the Board of Adjustment. They were happy with it. The only comment they had was after the red text or the underlined text that said 1 member shall be appointed for a term of 3 years, 2 members for 2 years and 2 members for 1 year. Thereafter each member shall serve for a term of 3 years. This is really redundant because this refers to the first year that board was actually in existence. So 1 member was appointed for 3 years, 2 for 2 years, and 2 for 1 year. That was really just applicable to when the board was first created. So they had recommended that language be removed, which makes sense because now all members have a term of 3 years. So we are looking for a recommendation.
Well, Madam Chair, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Okay, my question is, a Board of Adjustment, and that's all in lowercase, and as if it wasn't talking about the entity of Board of Adjustment. And that's what's confusing to me.
Yeah, that was taken directly from the code the way it is, but we can change that. We can capitalise Board of Adjustment, and that's not a problem.
So this will only apply to the Board of Adjustment?
Yes.
Well, the Board of Adjustment don't have 5 members, do they?
They have 9 members,
Right.
and we're correcting that. It's being corrected from 5 to 9.
But they've always had 9 members.
Which is why we're correcting it.
The language.
Why did you bring it today if you didn't have it corrected?
What?
Because they have no say in it. We only took it to them as a courtesy. This is the board that makes the decision.
I understand, but why did it come to us before it was corrected?
Before what was corrected?
The 5 members.
The members and the way that it's written.
Because the code currently reads 5 members, which is incorrect, and it's being brought to you for recommendation of approval to correct it. That's why it's before you.
Because it was
In other
wrong,
words,
now
they're
that-
cleaning up their mess.
It was written wrong, now we're correcting it.
Okay, well, my next question is, does this, anytime a board, whether it's a planning commission, whatever, they have to, if we want to change something in the planning commission, it has to go through the Board of Adjustments?
No,
and go through,
no.
Then why are we addressing something that's in the Board of Adjustments?
Because you are the board that makes the recommendation to City Council for changes to the code. The Board of Adjustment does not do that. This is the board that makes recommendations to changes of the code.
Does this then go to recommendation to the city council?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. When we had the same thing came before us, we did not approve it, correct?
Correct.
And now the exact same thing is going to the Board of Adjustments.
No. This is going to the council regardless of what you recommend.
But it's in reference to the Board of Adjustments.
Sorry?
But it's in reference to the Board of Adjustments.
Yes.
So the Board of Adjustments would have to apply, as the way I see it, this rule would apply to the Board of Adjustment, but not apply to us.
Yes.
Correct. Well, I can't roll, well, as the young people say, I can't roll like that. I mean, we're going to put rules on them that we don't have.
And so it went to the Board of Adjustment as a matter of courtesy to let them know that this was being brought before you, and they had no objections.
Okay, but on, and we're just talking, but the Board of Adjustments are just like the Planning Commission, correct?
No.
Each councilman, no, what I mean procedurally, each councilman.
No, they're not the same procedurally.
Wait a minute. Hear me out.
Can I suggest that...
Hear me out, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Hear me out first.
Okay.
The city council, each person on the city council nominates a Board of Adjustment member, correct?
Yes.
Each member of the city council nominates a planning commission member, correct?
Yes.
And whatever that council member, whoever that council member want to put on the board, why not let that council member put that person on the board, just like they put us on the board without all of these qualifications?
They can.
That's my question. Then why are we addressing these qualifications?
Because we're keeping all our boards consistent. Can I suggest, if you want to defer this, the board members want to go and read the code, both the state of Alabama code and the city code, so that they're clear on what the processes are? Because there seems to be a lot of confusion here. This is the board that makes recommendations on changes to the code, not the Board of Adjustment. So any changes to the code must receive a recommendation from this board. The Board of Adjustment does not have the authority to do that.
We do.
Right.
You do.
I understand that.
So I'm asking
That's
you
not
for...
confusing to me. I mean, I understand.
Well, it's just, Commissioner, it's just the way the Planning Commission was established. We were established as the authoritative board over Board of Commissions on those decisions, but still, our recommendation still has to go to the final authoritative board, which is the City Council.
Exactly.
Hence why they have to make the appointments. And I understand what you're saying. It kind of seems odd that our board would be affecting another board, but it's just the way it was originally established. That's right.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I get that. I understood it when you said it. I mean, there's no confusion there. It's just that,
It's no big deal. We voted up and we
Well,
voted down.
I understand what Mr. Reed's saying. We do definitely need to change the language to 9 members rather than 5. That needs to be done because they have 9 members. But Mr. Reed's problem, I believe, is with the
Authority.
well,
We have the authority.
it's the
We do have the authority. That's why they brought it before us.
that ain't what Mr. Reed. I think Mr. Reed's biggest problem is with the experience that the people have to have.
Yeah.
That's his problem. It ain't that we definitely need to have the language saying that it's 9 members.
Yes.
But I think his problem is that they basically got to be interview.
Yeah,
And they got to meet these criteria. Either they got to be training experience in field, urban planning, engineering, all. I think that's his issue.
That's ridiculous.
Because we voted that down on the planning commission for those same reasons.
Can I ask then if any of the board members would be happy if they lost their position to someone with absolutely no experience, no qualifications, no training to actually sit on the board? This actually protects your position, because at the moment, anybody can come up here and sit in that board.
I thought that people had to be.
And he is, and that person who's coming up here and said is nominated by District 6, a councilman, District 8 councilman, District 9, whoever councilman is. That's his responsibility to put somebody qualified up here. It's not the board responsibility to make sure this. No, it's if he's going to nominate it, and that's the person he want to nominate, then let him nominate.
Well, that's absolutely fine. I mean, we can take a motion. This is going ahead to City Council anyway. I mean,
exactly,
you know,
exactly. So they're going to make the final decision.
They're
on
going to
it
make the
anyway.
final
Absolutely,
decision.
absolutely. So as far as I'm concerned, I would.
And please bear in mind, the Board of Adjustment had no issues with this, not one.
Okay, good for them.
Are there any more questions from the planning commission?
I just have the opinion the city councilman or councilwoman is the one responsible for these boards.
Thank you.
And let them do what they want to do.
Thank you.
They're responsible, not us.
And if the council chooses not to approve this, then it won't move ahead.
If
Then
the
all
council
nine
person
council-
chooses
then
Joe
nine-
Blow and Joe Blow's not qualified, that's his problem.
No, it's not. It's actually the applicant's problem if they're having unqualified people making significant decisions on requests for their property. So it's not the board's problem, it's not the council's problem, it's the applicant's problem, because we want to make sure the people who are making decisions for the people out there are making the correct and educated and thoughtful
So
decisions.
who's going to
that
make
they
the
do.
decision that the person is qualified or not qualified?
You're not making that decision. That would be
His question is then who's going to make sure that that person is qualified or not qualified?
the council member who elects them.
So we're back to that same thing. The council person is the person that makes the decision.
Yeah, well, we're going round in circles. I mean, make a motion and let's take a vote, because it's going ahead to council anyway. They make the final call. All this is a recommendation.
I think we're going around in circles to get to the same point.
The point is, this is going to City Council regardless of what the recommendation here is, because that's what the code requires.
Everything goes to the city council. Everything we do in here goes to the city council. But I recommend we disapprove. And the reason I say because it's ambiguous, it's confusing as we've just gone through. I say that if a councilman wanted nominate whoever he wants to whatever board, then let him do it. It can be addressed in the ballot box. That's where the address comes.
Let's hear what the attorney says.
The attorney want to say something?
She's right there. Ask her the question.
What do you want me to answer?
I don't want
How the process goes?
No, well, we know how that. I know.
I mean, okay, so technically, yes, the city council appoints members of the board, okay? City council has to follow the guidelines in making such a recommendation. Warren is including this language as a guide for the council people to follow said language, okay? You guys have the duty and authority to this board to recommend or not recommend whatever text amendment is submitted to you. After you make whatever recommendation you're going to do, it goes back to city council where it's voted on.
So it sounds like we need to make a motion.
I move to disapprove. And the reason for the disapproval of it is it's ambiguous, it's confusing.
What's ambiguous?
What we're voting on. All members demonstrate education and stuff. That that is I think a councilman should be able to nominate whoever he wants to whatever board.
Can I point out that exactly the same language was added to the Planning Commission code, and you guys, I believe, voted against it, but it was adopted by the City Council. This is exactly the same wording.
Then they could do the same thing. They can adopt it because the only thing we do, as the Madam Attorney just said, is we just recommend to the City Council. Yeah, and so if they want to go over our recommendation, by all means, I have no problem with that.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
James made the motion.
To disapprove.
To disapprove.
Even the motion is confusing.
His motion was to deny.
Is there a second?
Is there a second?
Second.
Frank seconded.
All in favor of the disapproval or the denying of the text amendment?
What's that?
3, 4. I'm counting 4. Those against? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Motion passed to deny.
It ain't right.
I'm sorry.
No action.
No, 5, that's right. Motion failed.
Hung jury.
The motion failed.
It failed.
The motion to deny failed.
Right, I know that.
Yes.
Somebody else put the motion in.
I voted against it.
Caroline? If the motion failed, should they,
No action.
No, that ain't right.
do they take another vote, or is that go just as motion to deny failed?
It's just,
Do we do another motion to approve it?
usually it's just the one vote on the motion. It was a motion to deny. He didn't get enough votes thereby.
Okay, so that's the recommendation that goes to council.
Yep.
Okay.
Because he voted.
No action.
Right, no action. He voted not to do it.
Right. So it's
We
no
voted
action.
to do it. Right. So we won.
So it's no action. Yeah. Okay, next, Madam
I think
Chair.
I need to Robert rules.
Okay, we're moving on to item number 12.
Another item?
Yes, this is the last one. Presented by the Department of Planning, representing the City of Montgomery. It's a request recommendation for approval of a text amendment to the zoning ordinance to add Article 11, large-scale solar energy collection facility.
Good afternoon, Planning Commission members. I'm Robert Smith. I'm City Planning Director here at the City of Montgomery. And we've got some proposed amendments. You all heard this a couple of months ago. We did approve it. But when it went to the council, there were some requests for some amendments from a couple of the existing solar farm developers. And we took a look at those proposed amendments and only agreed with the ones that you have before you that are highlighted in yellow type. So we're going to go to page number 3, which you should have under
12C.
Under G, towards the bottom. And so the amendment there is highlighted in yellow, where it says, prior to any site construction, which for the purposes of this section shall not include pre-construction site preparation work, the applicant shall provide a performance guarantee in accordance with the following. Basically what that is basically saying that the performance guarantee or the bond is not going to be required for pre-construction and site preparation work. And based on everything that's highlighted, we did run this back through our zoning ordinance consultants that are working with us to update the city zoning ordinance and subdivision regulations, and they agreed that these were decent amendments to basically to go with. The next one, under number one, following the previous section, the applicant shall prepare an estimate of the cost to decommission the use and restore the site to a condition similar to its condition prior to the establishment of the solar farm use. And these are, again, minor edits, but we just went ahead and highlighted the whole entire thing. But what basically was added and is highlighted, it says the cost and salvage estimates shall be submitted with supporting material, including the cost assumptions and methodologies used to develop the estimates to the land use administrator for the administrator's approval. The administrator may request additional information to support the applicant's decommissioning cost and salvage value estimates, and may request revisions to the assumptions and methodology used to calculate them. Following the administrator's approval of the decommissioning cost estimate and salvage value estimates, the amount of the guarantee shall equal 115% of the estimated decommissioning cost, less 100% of the estimated salvage value. So it's really more about the salvage value being a part of the sum total of the decommissioning cost. Let's say one of the solar farms that was approved goes out of business for any reason whatsoever. They have to submit to the administrator decommissioning cost, what it would cost to decommission the site and restore it back to what the site looked like before the solar farm went on that site. And basically what they're asking is, let's say there are a lot of solar panels and infrastructure that's there on that site. They want to be able to calculate the cost of the salvaging the solar farm infrastructure and maybe selling it to somebody else, and let the money be recouped from that be applied towards the decommissioning cost. So they wouldn't have to come up with all of the money if they can, if and only if they can be paid for the material that's there on that particular site. So that's really what that's all about. And the last section, section 5, page 4, it says this section, which was not in the ordinance that you approved last time, this section shall apply to large-scale solar energy collection facilities that have not received a special exception approval from the Board of Adjustment as the date of the adoption of this ordinance by the City Council. And again, so anything new going forward that has not received a special exception approval by the Board of Adjustment would basically be subject to this particular ordinance right here. So those two solar farms that are under construction, one is under heavy construction, one is about to start construction, though these requirements would not be applicable to them, though they really meet the requirements that have been set forth as the Board of Adjustment has heard them. And that's it for the amendments. And again, the council, instead of them approving it, they wanted to send it back to you so you would be able to see what the amendments were before they see them again. And I think you all had a letter that was delivered, that was sent to myself and the City Council from one of the existing solar developers that agreed with the amendments as well. And that's all I have.
Any questions from the Planning Commission?
So you're saying one of the two has agreed to these amendments? One of the two that's already in production?
Yes.
Are they putting that in writing?
Well, so you do have a letter from one of the two actually up there that I passed on to you.
Is that official enough?
It's an official letter, yes, sir. It is an official letter.
Good.
Yes, ma'am, would you give us your name and address?
You're not on there. You need to come over here.
Good evening. My name is Tracy Langford. I live at 130 Katy Lane in Hope Hole. And I'm here on behalf of many citizens in Hope Hole and Snowden area. And we'd like to comment on this proposal. We understand the city's desire to further the development and growth of Montgomery and its surrounding areas. However, these initiatives should be considered cautiously and deliberately and have to consider the impact to the citizens of these communities first. The proposed solar ordinance is not adequate to appropriately address safety measures that should be in place to consider our citizens. We have requested specific edits to this ordinance to close various loopholes in the way that it is written and to provide for various protections for the public, both regarding their safety and the use of their own property. While these specific requests have been already provided to the city, they were provided again today to the Planning Commission in an email from my friend Karen Bollinger. We have tirelessly tried to work with the city in various departments, including the Planning Commission, to have these reasonable and workable solutions for all, but to no end. We asked the Planning Commission to postpone this decision and consider these safety measures already proposed, not only to the Planning Commission as well as various city departments, but also including the city attorneys. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Toby Roth. I'm with the Capital Resources Government Affairs firm here in Montgomery, representing NextEra Energy Resources. For those of you who may not be familiar with NextEra, they are one of the largest developers of renewable energy across the country. While we don't have any existing facilities in the Montgomery area, we do have some in Alabama, including the River Bend Solar Facility in Lauderdale County in cooperation with TVA. I reached out earlier today and spoke to Mr. Adams, and also at his request shared some input via email with Mr. Adams as well as Mr. Smith, just to offer an input item here. We certainly respect and understand the interest and the need to set standards in the code, but as a representative of industry, the solar industry, NextEra had a suggestion for your consideration that may have been forwarded to you, I'm not sure. But the suggestion was this, was additional language along the lines of the standards set forth in sections 3 and 4 of Article 11 shall be subject to alteration on appeal to the Board of Adjustment as a special exception as the BOA deems appropriate based on a consideration of site and project-specific factors. And just for a little bit of context, the thinking here is that giving the Board of Adjustment this additional authority to tweak the standards as they see fit does not add any new procedural hoops. They would still be considering this. And in fact, it would make sure the board's authority is not being usurped and its hands aren't being tied. More specifically, I mean, while it is certainly worthwhile to have parameters for solar projects set out in the ordinance, the reality is that none of us can predict the specifics of future development, that development projects that the city may deem beneficial. This additional language, while setting standards, still provides the city the option to assess the merits of a project where otherwise it might be required to be rejected and no evaluation of the merits could be done. Let me just say, I think for those of you that are familiar, there's been a lot of conversation about solar development, and a lot of that is attributable that in the economic development space, as new industry seeks to locate in Alabama and across the country, we're increasingly seeing among manufacturers, they've set objectives and goals for green new energy development. They want to achieve a 30% renewable goal or some other measure at some future point in time. And so increasingly, our economic development officials in Alabama and elsewhere, the governor, the mayor, city council members, county commissioners, and others are receiving questions, from these companies. We have a goal for renewable energy, and how friendly, how amenable is your community, is your state to us developing those type of renewable energy goals. All we're asking today with this proposed amendment, and I'm certainly happy to work with Mr. Smith and others to develop this as it moves to the council, or if you choose to do it here at a future meeting. All we're asking is just to provide the option for the what if these standards that we set in this ordinance are not quite accommodating the need of a future economic development, a future renewable energy project. Again, we're maintaining the authority, the role, the process for the Board of Adjustment. We just think that it might be beneficial to have that what-if scenario if a project comes along that's just outside the standards, and city leaders, including the Board of Adjustment, think that might be beneficial. Thank you for your consideration. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, could you come back to the mic? Ma'am.
God, James.
Ma'am.
Dear God, James, what are you doing?
You mentioned something, you mentioned several times about safety measures. It seems like some of the changes was safety measures.
Right.
Some of the changes that they changed in here are safety measures.
Right.
What safety measures are you talking about?
Specifically, I know that we have sent some things to the city council and asked them to take a look at them. I can't comment on the specifics without council present.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm just back for any
Okay.
questions that you might have.
Do
The
we
only
have-
thing that I would say is, again, the solar ordinance is based on best practices that are in place nationwide with other cities, and so ours is no different. Safety is a major concern for sure, and these are all standard best practices that we have in the ordinance. As far as the Board of Adjustment concerns, that's why the Board of Adjustment is actually there to consider changes, relief from existing regulations, and so they have that ability to actually do that and make any changes or requirements that they deem appropriate based on their expertise as a board.
Do you then consider Mr. Roth's suggestion redundant? We don't need it?
Yeah, I do consider it, no disrespect to him,
Okay.
but I do feel like it is a bit redundant for sure.
Okay, so
because the Board of Adjustment, they already have that ability
They already have that
to
ability,
do that.
is what you're saying.
Yes, sir. But again, if it reaches a level to the city council and they feel like it should be included in, that it will be up to them, but I don't recommend it.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
I'm counting 8. Mr. Garrett Smith.
She didn't call for the next. All opposed.
All opposed?
8-1 passes.
Thank you.
Before we adjourn, I wanted to introduce a new planning commission member, Mr. Tim Head. He's joined us this evening.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.